Are you an EV driver? Because there's a good chance you just missed a few $1,000s and you don't even know it yet. Missed a few $1,000s. Missed a few $1,000s. Here's what actually happened. On August 3rd, California quietly opened up a $135 million rebate for first-time EV buyers. And by August 8th, 5 days later, the entire Tesla share of that money was already claimed. Gone. Now here's the part that should actually bother you. Most Tesla owners didn't even know that window existed until after it closed. That rebate is just one of at least 4 real costs sitting underneath your ownership math right now, this month. The layer underneath that, the one moving while you're not looking. So if a rebate can vanish in 5 days without you noticing, what else is quietly moving in your ownership costs right now that you haven't checked either? Stick around, because by the end of this, you'll know exactly what to check before anybody else even thinks to. Now, for those of you just finding us, I'm David.
And I don't do this alone. This right here is Mike.
Gladly. So, today we're going through 4 real Tesla ownership costs almost nobody talks about but me, I guess. Where the money's still on the table, who's actually allowed to touch your car now, whether your Tesla's losing value the way you think it is, and where this whole cost picture is heading. Some of this is confirmed news from the last week. Some of it's a prediction, and I'll tell you exactly which is which. Are you leaving money on the table? So, the rebate. My first EV, California. $3,500 toward a new EV under $50,000, $1,750 for a used one under $25,000 if you qualify by income. Tesla's slice opened August 3rd. Half of it was claimed in the first 3 days alone.
Now hold on, because I don't want you thinking that door slammed shut on you.
This is a staggered rollout. Chevrolet, Ford, Hyundai, Kia, Lucid all activated their own piece of it this month. Honda, Lexus, Subaru, Toyota come online in September. Nissan, Rivian, Volvo are listed as coming soon. So if someone in your family's shopping for a used EV right now, this isn't a one-time window they already missed. It's a rotating door.
There's more stacked underneath it too. California's Driving Clean Assistance Program and Clean Cars for All can add up to $14,000 if you're trading in an older gas car. Some utility companies are layering another $1,000 to $4,000 on top of that for used EV buys. So why doesn't anybody know this? Because it's a mess. On purpose or not, it's fragmented across state lines, utility territories, rollout dates that shift every few months. You're not the type to spend your evening cross-referencing incentive spreadsheets, and honestly, why would you be? The federal EV tax credit's been gone since September of last year. States are the only game left in town, and California just proved that when a window like this opens, the money does not wait around for you to notice. Now here's the interesting part. I've seen this movie before. Once one state proves demand this strong, others tend to copy it. My prediction is more states running programs like this through 2027. My advice isn't chase this one rebate, it's build the habit. Check twice a year. Because the next window might only stay open 5 days too.
One more number worth mentioning while we're here. That 0% financing on the Model Y ended August 1st. It's sitting at 0.99% APR now on the base trims. Sounds impressive when it's zero. But let's look at the numbers. 0.99% is still way under the average new car loan in this country, which is running 6 to 7% depending on your credit.
This isn't Tesla pulling back. It's an aggressive promo rate settling into a merely very good one.
Over a 5 or 6 year loan, that's still thousands of dollars saved compared to a normal auto loan. It just doesn't have the same headline punch as the word zero. Who is actually fixing your car now? This one changed quietly this year, and I don't think enough people caught it. Tesla's spring update introduced something called Service Mode Plus. Independent repair shops can now authenticate through a QR code scan instead of routing everything through Tesla's own network. That matters because independent shops typically run 20 to 40% cheaper than a Tesla service center for comparable work. For years, the real barrier wasn't price, it was access. You physically couldn't get the diagnostic tools without going through Tesla.
So why now? Timing. The first wave of Model 3 and Model Y, the 2018 through 2021 cars, are aging out of their original warranty right about now. That's a big fleet where every repair suddenly comes out of pocket. Tesla opening up independent access right as that wave hits isn't a coincidence. It's closer to a release valve, because if every one of those cars only had official service centers to go to, you'd get 2-week waits and a wall of angry reviews.
For a lot of you watching, this isn't really about the discount. It's about not being stuck, not driving 40 minutes and waiting weeks for an appointment. Just having a normal, boring, local option the way you'd expect with any other car you've ever owned. Where's this headed? As more of the fleet ages past warranty through 2026 and into 2027, I'd expect Tesla to keep expanding independent access, not restricted. The alternative is an overloaded service network. This is one of those rare spots where the company's incentive and your incentive point the exact same direction. Is your Tesla actually losing value? The way you think? Here's the actual data on resale, because most opinions on this are just vibes. Used Tesla pricing bottomed out late last year and has ticked up around 4% since. Meanwhile, most other used EVs are still sliding.
Now pair that with the battery numbers, because this is where the real fear lives. Independent fleet tracking, companies like Geotab, has consistently shown Tesla packs losing about 2.3% of capacity a year on average. Model 3 and Model Y long-range packs are holding around 85% of original capacity even past 200,000 miles. That would have sounded made up 10 years ago.
Here's what I find genuinely interesting. The biggest fear people have, catastrophic battery failure, a car turning into scrap metal. That's turning out to be the least evidence-based fear in this whole conversation. Meanwhile, the stuff nobody worries enough about, insurance premiums, repair access, rebate timing, that's where the real money's actually moving. Why's the fear starting to fade now? Transparency, mostly. The in-car battery health screen gives you a real number instead of a guess. And that number follows the car when it gets resold. Now here's my prediction. As more of these cars carry a documented battery history, I think the used market starts pricing well-maintained cars at a real premium over neglected ones. Same way mileage and service records work for any other vehicle. That basically didn't exist for EVs until the data caught up. It's catching up now.
All right, pop quiz for everybody watching before David wraps this up. After 200,000 miles, how much battery capacity does the average long-range Tesla still have left? Drop your guess in the comments before David just told you the answer 2 minutes ago and you cheat.
They already heard it, Mike.
Some of them weren't paying attention. Their loss.
The real ownership cost curve. Nobody is drawing last piece. And this is the one that ties it all together for me. Tesla's energy division did $3.1 billion in revenue last quarter, up 13% year over year. Record storage deployments over the past 12 months, and they just started delivering their own in-house designed solar panel to customers for the first time. Separately, the supercharger network's now over half of all DC fast charging connectors in the country, uptime above 99.9%, and it's the highest reliability rating in independent testing. Most videos about ownership cost treat those as 3 unrelated facts: a car number, a charging number, a home energy number. I think that's the wrong way to look at it. Those 3 things are starting to connect into one system. If you own the car, charge mostly at home, and eventually add a Powerwall or solar, your per-mile cost stops looking anything like a gas car's cost structure. It starts looking more like a subscription you're slowly paying down.
Now let me flag this clearly, because this next part is a prediction. Virtual power plant programs, where utilities pay Powerwall owners to feed stored energy back into the grid during high demand hours, are already running in limited form in a handful of states. If that expands over the next few years, home charging stops being a pure cost. For some owners, it gets close to break-even. Maybe a small credit in a good month. Your driveway starts acting like a very small power plant.
I'm not telling anybody to go buy a Powerwall. I'm telling you that when people calculate what it costs to own one of these things, they almost always stop at the car. The real curve keeps going, right out into the driveway and the electric meter, and nobody's drawing that part yet. So here's the honest summary. Mike's gonna help me simplify it. The sticker price and the insurance quote, you already know those. What you're probably missing is a rebate window that opens and closes in days. A repair system that just got a lot more flexible for aging cars. A resale trend quietly reversing everyone's biggest fear, and an energy ecosystem starting to change what the word cost even means for this car. None of that requires you to become some EV forum obsessive, just knowing where to look. And now you do.
All right, while David catches his breath, quick behind the scenes. We actually pulled the California rebate numbers straight from the state's own tracking data for this one. Not just secondhand headlines, because half the internet's still repeating the 0% APR line, even though that ended 2 weeks ago.
So yeah, we double-check this stuff before it hits the script.
All right, comment time. If any of these 4 costs was new information to you, type new. If you already knew all 4, type known. I want to see how this splits. We're sitting right on the edge of 36,789 subscribers right now. And honestly, that's a weirdly specific number to be this close to.
Help us push past it. Hit subscribe if you haven't, and let's see how fast we blow through it. See you in the next one.